Hey Guru Nation, welcome to episode 76 of Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru. My name is Dan Sfera, so today we're going to talk about, and I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize beforehand for sounding a little nasally, a little congested, but there's a couple important things that I wanted to talk about. The first one is LinkedIn video, okay? So normally I don't get this excited about a new update to a social media platform, but if you have spent any amount of time on social media and you're a clinical researcher, you know how important LinkedIn is, okay? And if you don't have a LinkedIn and you are in this industry, you are making a huge mistake. You need to put this on pause, or while you're listening or while you're watching, go get a LinkedIn account. It's free. I get nothing out of it, but add me, Dan Sfera. Okay, everyone in this industry is on it. It is the most popular social network in our industry, and it used to be and it still is, very professional, very dressed up. People can post their articles. People can network with colleagues or with other individuals about new jobs coming out or new opportunities. A lot of business to business is done there. Everyone sort of knows everyone else on there if you're in this industry. But now, with the LinkedIn video, it's actually become a lot more personal. And so you first of all, you could always share a video on LinkedIn. For example, I've been doing it for the last 7 years. I put a YouTube video up. I get the link for it, and then I add it to LinkedIn, right? But this is not what I'm talking about. What LinkedIn just rolled out is native video for LinkedIn. So just like Facebook, I think it was a couple years ago, rolled out native Facebook video to compete with YouTube. They're encouraging their users to upload natively to Facebook, or in this case to LinkedIn, rather than just having a YouTube video and then having a link and sharing it with your contacts and with your network. And they choose their algorithms, both Facebook and LinkedIn's just copying from Facebook. The algorithm chooses what type of content gets priority, because at the end of the day, no matter what the social network is, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Snapchat, they want users to consume, and the only way to get them coming back and consume it longer is to give them what they're interested in, right? Therefore, they can then sell more ads against it and a whole bunch of other stuff. So user engagement is key. And what Facebook's done well is encourage people to upload video natively to Facebook, by rewarding those who do, by giving them a greater reach. So, as an example, if I make a video like I do for YouTube, and I upload it to YouTube, and then I put the link on Facebook, Facebook's not going to show it to as many of my contacts. First of all, they never show any piece of content to all of your network. Okay, the algorithms determine who sees what based on how they engage with you, how often they comment, how often they like, a whole bunch of other stuff with it, which they don't actually reveal because then marketers can exploit it. But there's algorithms, and engagement's definitely a huge part of the whole puzzle. Now, when you upload it to Facebook natively, they share it. They send it out to other people's news feeds, to more people's news feeds than they would otherwise if it was just a YouTube link, because they don't want people leaving Facebook to go to YouTube. They want people staying on Facebook. So naturally, they're not going to help promote other social networks and take time away from their network. LinkedIn's doing the same thing. I'm still going to put videos on YouTube. That's a second biggest search engine in the world. This does not replace YouTube. But what I am going to start doing a lot more of, which I just did today, is post short LinkedIn only videos. Okay, so maybe 1 minute. Today's video I did was like 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute for LinkedIn. Also, what I'm going to do, my most popular videos from YouTube, I'm going to natively upload them to LinkedIn. So I just did a video today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this on the podcast, about prioritizing and executing when it comes to us clinical researchers, particularly those of us who own research sites or want to start sites, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. I did that one for YouTube. I did not natively upload that to LinkedIn because I had previously just done a LinkedIn video. So I don't want to oversaturate my LinkedIn feed as well, because then LinkedIn learns to not show your content as much unless people are engaging with it. Okay, so I don't want to overdo it, and you can overpost even with a video on all these social networks. So be strategic about it. Like, LinkedIn's very professional, so anytime you have a more buttoned up professional type of video that you want to share, LinkedIn would be the good place to do it, or just LinkedIn exclusive, just little short concepts, and then you can still mention your YouTube video in the LinkedIn video and hopefully get some subscribers there. It's very difficult to get a subscriber from one platform or a follower from one platform to follow you on another platform. For some reason, it's just very difficult to do because people have their preferences, and they like to interact with you on certain channels, and they don't necessarily want to go to another channel. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, you may not want to go listen to the podcast, or vice versa. But it doesn't hurt to put the word out there that you do have other platforms, because those people that actually do end up following you across multiple platforms are going to be pretty much with you 24/7. Whenever you post somewhere, they're going to be able to see it if you're posting well. So LinkedIn video is going to be huge. One can only guess that they're going to start live streaming, and I think that's going to be a game changer. I think that's going to possibly replace webinars, maybe. Maybe we can just do LinkedIn live stream webinars rather than having everyone go to GoToMeeting or AnyMeeting, which is what we currently use. And we're still going to use those because we do monthly webinars as well. So go to theclinicaltrialsguru.com and subscribe to get notified of our monthly webinars when they occur. We're still going to do those because we want to capture email addresses. We still want to have a home on the web and not be fragmented all over the place. Although that's the way the environment is shaping out to be, is a very fragmented audience. So I have some people listening on podcast only, some people consuming my content on YouTube only, some people consuming me on LinkedIn only, some people on Facebook. But I want as many as possible on my email list and coming to my blog, The Clinical Trials Guru, because that's the only place that I can control my message. Okay? On all these other social networks, they're great. Instagram, Snapchat, they're great. But I'm at the mercy of an algorithm, and I'm at the mercy of that social network one day becoming popular and the next day not becoming popular anymore. So always have a home page. The webinars are not going to go anywhere, but I think the LinkedIn live streams, when they start rolling them out, and again, I'm just speculating, they may not do the live streams, but I can't see why. That seems to be the future of video, is live streams. I think those will be a great sort of like a mini webinar where you can just talk more intimately to a smaller group, perhaps. And then maybe it could be like an appetizer for your upcoming webinar and get more people, drive more traffic to your email list. So a lot of neat stuff happening on LinkedIn. I'm going to be posting video daily on LinkedIn. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know how the engagement goes. So far I did one. I just got the feature today. So one video I put on LinkedIn, and short, 2 minutes. Basically talking about LinkedIn video. But I'm also going to do a full write-up on this topic on theclinicalscoop.com, and of course on LinkedIn as well. I'll publish it as an article, and on Medium, and on Facebook. I told you it's fragmented. The audience is all over the place, but that's why you need to be all over the place. If you're trying to reach a target audience, you need to be where they are, okay? And in my case, they happen to be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Medium, all over, okay? I don't necessarily care about any of these social networks, but I create content where my target audience prefers to be, and everyone's different. So that's a LinkedIn video. Very excited about it. I encourage you to go check it out. From what I've seen so far, you can only post LinkedIn video from your phone, from a mobile device. I don't think you can upload natively from your desktop. Let me try it right now. I know you can't record live from your desktop and then upload it to YouTube or to LinkedIn. But yeah, no, you can't. You can only write an article, share a photo from your computer, but from your mobile device, you can create video. So this is this is LinkedIn's way of getting into the mobile space, because they've been a little bit behind in that area. So this is LinkedIn's foray into that space. The next thing I wanted to talk about is prioritizing and executing. So I'm reading this really good book. I'm actually listening to it by Jocko Willink. It's called Extreme Ownership: How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. And I did like a 4-minute video on this on YouTube today. But one of the chapters, they talk about prioritizing and executing. And it's a great way. I mean, the first thing I thought about immediately was people that start research clinics, so site owners. And we have a site owner academy, so here's a shameless plug. If you're interested in learning all the fundamentals and having us help you prioritize and execute your strategy in 3 months, all online, of how to start your research clinic, go to the Site Owner Academy. It's on the blog, theclinicaltrialsguru.com. There's a little tab called Site Owner Academy. Register. It's $3,000 for a 3-month course online. We can do a monthly payment plan if you prefer. And we're going to help you. We're going to help you succeed. We're actually going to, by the time you finish the program, the 3-month program, you should have a PI and a study in place. Okay. You may not have a clinic, but you may not need one. You may start in the office of a PI and then expand later. We get into those details there, but back to prioritizing and executing. So I talk to people that want to start sites every day, right? Maybe a handful of people a day. The same themes come up. They're overwhelmed, and it is overwhelming to start a business. Okay. Do you have enough funding? Do you have a website? Do you have a business plan? When it comes to clinical research, do you have SOPs? What licenses do you need? I don't even know where to begin. These are all valid concerns, and these are issues that you need to address at some point. And these are bridges that you need to cross at some point. But if you try to do everything at once, or if you just start thinking about everything at once, you're never going to do anything. You're going to freeze. You're going to have a brain freeze, and then you're not going to do anything because of fear. You're going to be paralyzed by fear. And that's not what we want to do, right? And I learned this from this book, Prioritizing and Executing. The first thing that came to mind was site owners that want to start their own sites. They don't know where to start. I had a client the other day, has no PI, no clinic, no address, nothing, and wants to talk about a logo. And yeah, we'll design you a logo, but that's not a priority. But I get it. You want to do it because you want to create business cards, because you want to create flyers. But why? Why? Well, they told me because they're trying to get PIs, and their PIs she'd be more credible when she goes and approaches PIs if she has a flyer, business cards, a logo. And yes, who can argue with that? Yes, you are going to be more credible. But at the end of the day, it's never going to replace the fact that you have to go out and hunt and find a PI. So business card or not, a logo or not, flyer or not. And by the way, most of the times when I went out to find PIs to join my clinics, I didn't have a business card. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have flyers. I brought myself. I brought my mouth. And once you start talking, knowledge is key. These doctors, research naive physicians, they don't know anything about clinical research other than they think it's potentially lucrative. But they also think it's a lot of work, a lot of liability. This is where your knowledge comes in, okay? You got to study. You got to know your material. Hopefully you're a CRA and you're well-versed in this stuff, or a study coordinator. Or if you're not, then you need to learn it. Go to YouTube, look at all my videos, Go learn about research. Go learn about PI oversight. That's really the only thing a PI needs to worry about is maintaining adequate oversight. I mean, the FDA leaves it up to the discretion of the PI of how they should conduct the study. As long as they're following good clinical practice and they're maintaining appropriate investigator oversight, they can delegate, they can do whatever they want to do, as long as they're following GCP, following the protocol, and maintaining oversight. So most PIs, most research naive physicians, they don't know this. They think that they have to personally fill out every form, see every patient, enter every data in the EDC, and that's just not the way it is. Okay, that's not the way successful sites do it. So prioritize and execute. You don't need to worry about SOPs right now. If you're thinking of starting a site and you don't have a PI, priority number one is go get a PI, okay? And priority number one should really be decide for sure whether you think you can do this or not, meaning running the site. So you're not going to get paid for at least 6 to 12 months. Do you have the finances in place to pay your own bills while you're waiting for money to come in, revenue to come in? Are you going to quit your job? Are you going to continue doing your job and run your clinic, which is what I recommend you do, at least for the initial 3 to 6 months, to reduce risk, to mitigate risk? These are your priority number ones. Your first priority should not be, let me get a logo and a website and a business card and a flyer, because all that's doing, and a business plan, which is the worst. I mean, business plans are good. They're designed for you to organize your plans, right? Or to get investors if you want to get an investor. Other than that, they're a complete waste of time, and they're a distraction. You should not prioritize having a business plan. What you should prioritize is finding a doctor that wants to work with you, preferably one that has an office that is willing to let you work out of their office, and that could be your site. Okay, that could be your research site, at least initially. Okay, but you don't need that. You can get your own site if you want, rent a space, bring the PIs to you. That's another way to go about it. If I were starting all over again today, I would absolutely, no questions about it, find a doctor with a private practice of his or her own, with a pretty solid private practice and a good reputation amongst patients. And I would try to do the studies from their office. And I would share a large percentage of my budget with them if they were willing to accommodate me for that. I mean, I'd even go 50-50 with them. Okay, I think that's the best type of, especially for the studies coming out now where they're getting kind of demanding on what kind of patients they want to be enrolled. It's almost impossible to do it without having a private practice to pull from for your studies. And the sponsors are almost not wanting to even talk to sites that don't have a private practice or a database of their own. So that's your priority. Your first priority should be finding a PI. After that, your next priority should be getting a study. Okay, because you can't get a study without a PI, but then you can't make money without getting a study, right? Like, you don't actually have a business until you have a sponsor willing to pay you for conducting the trial for them. So priority number 2 should be get a study. Now, once you start applying for that study, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to give you a feasibility survey. You fill that out. Then they're going to want to schedule a site selection visit. Sometime between when you fill out your feasibility survey and when they come out to do a site selection visit, that's when you need to cross those bridges that I was talking about. Have a website. Get a CLIA waiver. Make sure your staff has GCP training. Make sure you have SOPs. Okay? Now you can start thinking about those things. Not prior to finding a PI. Because let's say you accomplish all those things. You get GCP training. You get a CLIA waiver. Well, you don't have a PI. So now you need to start from square one again. And now your PI has to do GCP training. And now you may need another CLIA waiver because you need a CLIA waiver for every research location that you have. So prioritize PI first, then get a study, then do all the regulatory license insurance type of things. Work out an arrangement with your doctor. Maybe the PI has a medical malpractice. Maybe the PI has premise liability. Okay. Now, when they come to your site selection visit, now the priority becomes, okay, let's enroll patients in the study. And now let's repeat this whole process again. Let's get more studies. then find more patients, and then try to specialize into other studies, attract more PIs to your group, attract more PIs to your research company, build more. That's how you should prioritize things. Same thing, by the way, when you are running an existing research clinic. Let's say you have 10, 15 studies going on at one time. You still need to prioritize and execute. Which of those studies are bringing you the most revenue and which ones are costing you the most money? And prioritize on the ones that are bringing you the most revenue and eliminate the ones that are not, right? Now, I never like to take a study and not enroll one patient. Even if I can't stand the study, even if the budget doesn't make sense, if I agree to do it, I'm going to at least enroll one patient, and then I'll be done, unless we can get our budget renegotiated or the protocol gets amended to where it's more economically feasible or practical for my site and my staff to do that study. But we'll never leave a sponsor without a patient. At least we try. Sometimes that happens. 20% of trials, by the way, end up enrolling 0 patients. 20%, that's a huge number. So prioritize and execute occurs at all stages. Whether you're at the startup level of your company, whether you're at the mature level of your company and you're just trying to run your clinic more efficiently and maximize revenues, prioritize and execute. Which studies are bringing you the results? Prioritize those. Which ones are not? Keep those in maintenance, okay? And hopefully you get a closeout visit soon, or you could renegotiate your budget, or sponsor makes changes to the protocol. And this also works for job seekers, okay? You're looking to be a CRA? Well, what should be your priority? I don't know. Everyone's different. Do you have experience? What kind of jobs are you applying for? If you don't have experience on your resume, you're probably not going to get hired as a CRA. Your priority then becomes gain experience for my resume. That's where my CRA Academy helps, but you don't need to do that. You can gain experience yourself. Go apply to be a study coordinator. Go apply for entry-level positions. Don't go for the CRA role immediately when you don't have experience. And don't lie about your experience, because they're going to find out and you're going to waste your time and you're going to blacklist yourself. All right? So prioritize and execute. Those are huge concepts, game-changing concepts, and it applies to anything. I don't care what it is that you're doing. Prioritize and execute. Don't get overwhelmed initially. Focus on what matters now. Execute, and then another problem is going to come, and you got to prioritize that. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.